loyalty, courage and service to country by servicemen and women, past and present.
Dr. Hinwood, what has been your connection with the Canon Garland Memorial Society, and when you have first learnt of the Canon Garland?
Well, I first learned about the name Canon Garland from a friend of ours who was a professor of history at the University of Queensland, John Moses, and on a number of occasions he said that how busy he was writing the history of the life of this man who had such an impact on the early determination of how to commemorate those people who were involved with the First World War and with Gallipoli in particular. And he was...
Can you tell us your introduction, about your introduction to the Canon Garland Memorial Society and what you thought at the time?
My first introduction, I recall, was having a phone conversation with the president at the time, Mr. Ross Hilscher, who asked if he could come with a couple of members of his committee to discuss the production of a memorial, and a number of those people came to my home one morning and we sat and talked at length, and I was really introduced to the story really for the first time, the story of Canon Garland's life.
You have designed a rather unique symbol for the Canon Garland Memorial Society, and for that matter now for the memory of Canon Garland. Can you tell us what was your thought behind the design?
Finding the essence of the story, I think, is always the most difficult, time-consuming part of any project, and coming down to how can you depict, there is just so much to the story of Canon Garland, but it seemed to me that it came to the importance of the collaboration of the New Zealanders and the Australians, and the great comradeship and dedication to one another and to their nations, and so how to perhaps represent those two people but bound together in a terrible experience that it was in Gallipoli when so much blood was shed. And so that's how do I depict those three things in three simple design elements. So yeah, a lot of thought and a lot of playing around with choosing. It's really, when you're designing something, you're making choices about how will those elements come together in a unified, meaningful way. So a lot of drawing took place.
Would be the legacy for that?
Now that the memorial that was designed is in place up here on Kangaroo Point beside St Mary's Church, that was a really important initial project for the organisation, the Canon Garland Memorial Society. It took a great deal of effort from a lot of people who were extremely supportive of the whole concept, and now they haven't just left it at that. There's been ongoing promotion to keep that name, to get the name of Canon Garland out into society through television interviews, through articles in the press, and for ongoing recognition, even the naming of an overpass in the Toowong Cemetery, which we hope might once again bring that name of Canon Garland to a different part of our society. Slowly, slowly, it's quietly happening, coming more to the fore.
Finally, can you explain to us the meaning of the badge?
Well, this badge that I designed, the image was initially for the logo for any documentation that was happening in regards to the Canon Garland Memorial Society, and so that seemed to be the appropriate image to go into a bronze medallion that was installed on the Canon Garland Memorial wall here in Kangaroo Point, and I think people will be very proud to wear it, and I think it's of sufficient significance that people will say, what's that on your lapel? What are you wearing? What's that all about? And here's our opportunity to tell people of its importance and the message that's there.